Like I said in my previous speech, I played football at El Dorado High School. And going into my junior year, I realized that that was my year to make an impression on colleges and my coaching staff for my next year. So that year, I decided that I was going to work my tail off in the weight room, and I decided that I was going to do whatever it took to become the best football player I could possibly be. So during that summer, I worked my ass off, did whatever I needed to do in the weight room, and then right before season started, I was in the newspaper for top 10 defensive linemen in Orange County, and I had all my weightlifting records at my school of all time, and I still have them today. And so season started, first 3 games went by, and I was starting at defensive tackle. Our team was 2-1. Our offense was doing really well, and our defense was doing really well. We were scoring a lot, we were forcing a lot of turnovers, we were doing well. And me personally, I was starting my team in tackles, and I was leading my team in sacks. So when week 4 rolls around, that's our biggest game of our year. In that game, we play Valencia, who's our crosstown rival. And in that game, our entire school has where it's this, they have a prep rally almost, like every day, like at lunch, at break, whenever, we're ready for that game. So that whole week goes by, and then on Thursday that week, we have a team dinner for football. And I go to that dinner, and we have a good time with my friends, we do our activities and whatever, and then I go home, and I fall asleep. And then the next morning when I wake up, I was like, wow, I had a weird dream last night that someone got hurt in the bell game. What's gonna go on tonight? So then I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just shake it off. Go to class, I go to school, go through the assembly, and for our assembly, football is featured in the assembly, and we normally do like a tug of war with the cheerleaders or whatever, and we did that, and we kicked their ass. And then we started, and then after that, I went through my whole day. 6th period comes, and I go to lunch with my friends. And every 6th period with my friends, we'd go to Subway before a game. And at Subway, we would always talk, have a good time, talk about how nervous we are for the game, talk about what we're gonna do in the game. And we pretty much just talk shit back and forth and what we're gonna do for that game. So then after that, we went back home, back to school. And we got to school. We went back we got on the bus, got ready for the game, got on the bus, went to the game, and we're at school at Valencia, because that's where we play, where our home field is and their home field is. So we're playing at Valencia, and go through our pregame warm-ups. And right before the game started, my coach comes up to me and says, "All right, you're going to be captain in tonight's game. You were playing the game last week, so you're going to be captain for this game." And I mean, that was like my first time. I was actually my second time. I had one as a sophomore, so that was my first time that year. So I was pretty pumped, ready to go into that game. And then, so the game started, and about halfway through the first quarter, I had 4 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. So I was pretty pumped. I was talking a lot of trash to the other team, and I was ready to go. And then the next drive, I'm on defense, and the play's going on, and I take a snap. I take on the guard in front of me, and the tackle right next to him comes down and chops my legs down. And he lands on my ankle, and I'm tangled up, and I have a guy on top of me, and I have a guy down below me. And so they both get up, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh shit, how am I gonna get up? And I try and get up, and I go right back down to the ground. So then eventually the trainer comes out, takes me off the field, takes me to the sideline. She's looking at my ankle, and she's all, you're gonna go to the ER, I don't know what I can do for you here, you're pretty messed up. So my parents came down off the bleachers, came down, took me to the ER. And when I got to the ER, I was there for about 4 hours, and I was laying in the bed in the hospital. The doctor comes in and says, "Some bad news, you're gonna be out for 18 weeks. You have torn tendons in your ankle, and you're gonna be done for the rest of the season. I don't know if you can play next year." And at that moment in time, I realized that all that hard work I put in was just for 4 games. And I mean, that killed me inside. I cried all the time. I cried that entire year because of that, because football was my life. And just like that, it was gone. And I learned that that how easily things can be taken away from you, and that to savor things that you love, and that things that are there can be taken away from you that easily. And that's why the bell game my junior year, that Friday, was the worst day of my life.